It's the Joel Shit Show, featuring Joel Shit. Hi, and welcome to the Joel Shit Show. I'm your host, Joel Shit. So today, I'm driving to another job interview. This place is business casual, so I'm not wearing a jacket. I'm just wearing a tie. I probably should have just worn a colored shirt and no tie, but I'm not going to take that risk. So now I can talk about yesterday's interview because I've already gone. It was with Stanford, and they need a web editor, and I think I've got a really good shot at that job. Basically, one of their sites, well, two of their sites are merging into one, and they're putting in a new look and feel, and they need someone to be in charge of it. And to a lesser degree, they need someone who can create content because there's not always good content on the pages as they are now, and so they need someone like me. So I talked with 6 different people over 2 hours. 2 people for half an hour each, 2 people for one person for half an hour each, so you know what I'm trying to say. And it went pretty well. I guess I'll hear back next week or something if they want me in the second round of interviews. We'll see. But, you know, overall I think it went pretty well. And, you know, the hardest thing was getting there because I had to be there at 9:30, so I had to drive because there's a shuttle from the Caltrain station, but it doesn't run during the day. So what are you going to do, you know? Get out of your interview at 11:30, turned out to be 11:20, and how are you going to get there? So I said, fine, I'll just drive. And 280 is not that bad, but I would have definitely preferred to take public transit. And the good news is, if I get the job, and if I'm offered the job and I take it, then I will be able to take the train to work. Although today, there is a delay on Caltrain between 3 and 31 minutes, yes, they use those exact numbers, on northbound trains coming out of San Jose, which of course is the station that I would be getting on the train at. So, I guess that's just part of life on Caltrain. There's always little delays. Not like BART, which is on time 95% of the time. They're very proud of their on-time record. That's why they should get paid the money they do. Don't strike, please. There's something to be said for being on time and reliable. Buses, sometimes they just don't show up. Trains, people sit on the tracks. But BART, fairly safe most of the time. No one generally steals anything. Not too bad, really. So then last night I had a long-standing engagement to go to Olive Garden for Never Ending Pasta Bowl with a friend, a couple friends, 3 friends, and I won because we always say who can eat the most. I had 3 plates and I shared 2 salads and like 3 or 4 breadsticks, and I think 2 or 3 cranberry pineapple half and half, no ice, and that was more than anybody else, so I won. The guy to my right, AJ, took as much food as I did, but he did not eat it all, but he did take it home, so he won't waste it. So it's really the best of both worlds. But yeah, I maintain my eating title in the Olive Garden Never Ending Pasta Bowl contest. Now, I mean, you know, there are dudes that show up and eat like 8 bowls of pasta. What are you gonna do? So the bill was like $62, and we figured it out, so the guy was gonna get like $15, right? But I'm pretty sure that I saw Seamus only leave $10 in there. Now, $10 on a 62 ticket is fine. I mean, I would leave more because I do, and this guy was pretty good, and it's Never Ending Pasta Bowl, which is you get out all the cheapskates. And as Sistine used to always like to say when I was a bartender at El Burro, if you can't afford to tip, then go to a cheaper restaurant. And it's true, you know. If you're only going to tip $3, don't go somewhere where the plates are 20, go somewhere where the plates are 10. Like the Olive Garden. So a good time was had by all. The problem was that it took 2 hours out of my evening that I needed to prepare for today's interview, so I stayed up really late working on it. But the good news is I think I'm going to do the best I can, and that's all that really matters, you know. And the nice thing is I'm really free-rolling here. If I get offered this job and I interview well and everything, that's great. And if I don't, I've still got other jobs I'm interviewing for. I got a phone call from another prospective employer who wanted to make me an offer, but it was only for part-time. And so I said, I was told this would be full-time. Can you please look into it? And of course, I was quite the polite about it, and I suppose I will hear back from her today. She will probably call while I'm in this interview, which runs from 10 until 4. It's a very long interview. So maybe I'm just wasting a bunch of people's time. I guess we'll see. But it's all very exciting. along with where the interview is, which if I take the job or don't get the job, I can tell you about. This one is really top secret, and I'm not going to be saying very much about it at all until it's too late, because I don't want to jeopardize my chances of getting it. It doesn't mean I don't want the job at Stanford, it just means that the one today is like really exciting. Stanford's pretty exciting too. I mean, if you work for Stanford and you have kids and they qualify to get into Stanford, they get to go to Stanford for free or for like 80% off or some ridiculous discount. So it's an excellent benefit. So getting a job at Stanford if you have kids is wonderful. What am I going to do? Adopt? I guess I could. So, anyway, I am now almost at my interview, which should tell you how close it is to where I live. Those of you that know me should know by now where it is. But I have not said anything to jeopardize my chances yet. So that's a good sign. Of course, I've said plenty of things about it over the past couple of weeks, so those of you who watch regularly already know what I am talking about. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Visit us on the web at joelshitshow.com. Email joel at joelshitshow.com.